Welcome back to the Jasmine Tea, where we give you piping hot commentary on your favorite Blackly Black shows. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today we'll be doing things solo dolo style. It's just me and you, my dear tea party. I'll be steering the ship today. No guests, just me and all my thoughts. And I'm a little nervous about it. It's easy for me to be like, funny with other people, but being this personal with you guys, I think we're like heading on into a new level. So, let's jump on into the things. We're still going to start with our what's been brewing moments and think of these as like piping hot topics on the internet. What's the chatter brewing? What's going on? What is Blue Ivy allowing to thrive on the interwebs? So, first topic, the Met Gala just took place, and I know it comes around every year in May. What is it? Like the every what Monday in May, or is it a Sunday? Is it Sunday? I'm not really tapped in enough, but I did find this TikToker named Sophia, and she explained what the Met Gala is, and that gave me a lot more context about it. So, first of all, it's a fundraiser. Okay, yay for that. I was always sitting on the couch wondering, like, are there performances going on? Is somebody giving speeches? It's a fundraiser for the New York Museum of Art. And so it's all focused around fashion, which means that fashion houses by tables inside the Met Gala. And then they invite celebrities to wear looks made by their brands and like rep their brand at the Met Gala. So that's how the funds are raised. And then that money is used to fund the museum so that all New York residents can go to the museum for free, like anytime throughout the year, which I think is really dope. The Birmingham Museum of Art was free. I loved going there. You could co-work there on Wednesdays. It was a good time. You could walk around. They had like an outdoor patio area. I love to be outside, need the earth sign. It was just a really good asset to our community, I feel like. Even if you wanted to just like stroll through there on a Sunday or, just kind of pop in. I love the Museum of Art. I'm currently in Columbus, Ohio, and their museum isn't free. I think it's free on Sundays. So I do go in there on Sundays, and they have some events that are free. Like during the summer, they do bar art music on Thursdays, and that's kind of like a community event where different DJs and artists come kind of like take over the outside plaza and like a little upstairs area, and they have like drinks and cocktails, and everybody kind of just vibes. So there's that and different free programs, but I think just general admission is like still 20 something dollars. But all that to say, the Met Gala happened so that admission to the New York Museum of Art is free for New York residents and $30 for everybody else if you just want to stop by there. And I'm sure they probably have some free day as well. But let's get into some of my favorite looks from the Met Gala. Of course, Rihanna was on my list. Her look was kind of like, first of all, it gave a lot of razzle dazzle. I love some bling, a drama moment, a statement piece. And so she said that her look was inspired by an oyster, I believe. And she wanted to look like, what was it? Yeah, an oyster. She said her look was inspired by an oyster because she's from Barbados, the islands girl. And so her like, I don't know, this back piece behind here. If you're not watching the video right now, just imagine like a hood behind you. It was giving shell, and I don't want to call it a costume. Her dress was like a rusty CE kind of color. I'll find a picture and see if we can like do an overlay or something. But Rihanna's look was one of my favorite. I also just love her attitude all the time. She just always looked like she's having a good time. She always looked like she's genuinely existing in herself. Like being herself, being funny or sassy or whatever it is. She just looked like she's doing whatever she want to do with that man who follows her around, like Black Cat, Golden Retriever energy, very much that. A$AP Rocky and her. They look good. Oh, I also liked, speaking of couples, oh, Sierra and Russell Wilson. You know, they looked great. She was given, was it Nefertiti, in gold, like this really like spiky headpiece and a very body yada yada dress. And Russell looked like the perfect black Ken doll, like arm candy side piece. They were serving a lot of good looks. They're just a really good looking couple anyway. Like Sierra is tall and toned and thick at the same time. And then Russell's like, you don't want no puppy, you want a big dog. He a big dog. I like that. Let's see who else. Dochi. She was basically naked, which again was great because her body is sickening as well. But she had this like purpley mauve winey piece. Just walk with me, people here. I'm not really a fashion expert, but it was like if you thought of going to a toga party in college, it was like that. But her bed sheet was like plummy red, think Merlot, something like that. And she didn't have on any shoes, but I think it was great because it kind of like elongated her body a bit. She was giving like African goddess. Also, all of these Met Gala looks were paired up to actual art pieces, like pieces of art that exist. So that was cool as well. You can find some TikTokers that are like doing the comparison to that. It was fun to learn about. Let's see, Rihanna, Doechii, SZA. She had this cool like butterfly, yellowy gold look. It was giving like fairy whimsical. I enjoyed that. And of course, Beyonce. Her piece was really when I looked at the art piece that was like, hold on, let me see. I'm pretty sure I got an article. The article may just say like who wore what. I don't know if it goes into the art pieces that they were like. Okay, maybe. Okay, yeah. So, for example, SZA's outfit was inspired by the Wiener. Mm, I can't say this name here. I can't say the. It's the Weiner. Is that Weiner? Mm, whatever it was by this person. It was inspired by a 20th century design collective. But she's giving like, oh, you can't see this. Oh, maybe y'all can. She's giving like butterfly realness right here. Let's see who else. Doechii. Oh, Doechii's outfit was designed by Marc Jacobs. And she said she wanted to go with something that just felt very human and vulnerable and grounding. It definitely did that. It feels like she's giving like Mother Earth, like if you had, like if an incense was like the smoke from an incense was like floating through the air, it would look like Doechii, just kind of like, ooh, smooth and regal, giving goddess. Let's see. Janelle Monáe. I loved her look. Usually she stuck to like black and white. And this one is still heavily black and white, but it has like patches of like moss and stuff in it. Let's see. It says Janelle Monáe's gown blended live moss, succulents, a motherboard, and Ethernet cables. Yeah. She wore Christian Serrano. And this gown explored the intersection of nature and technology. It's given that. It's given that. It looks like if you dropped your laptop in a pond or something and picked it back up. The look was built with live moss, succulents, a motherboard, Ethernet cables, 230 electrical wires, 5,000 black crystals, and featured animatronic butterflies. I mean, it's just giving the drama. It's giving the drama. I love Janelle Monáe. She's like one of my black girl faves. When I one of my other fave black girls, Javacia Harris Bowser, one of her fave songs, or I believe one year, one of her songs of the year was like Float by Janelle Monáe. And that is just one of my favorite songs of all time. And I was at a Janelle Monáe concert with Javacia, so it was like synergy. But anyways, let's see. I wonder if they talk about Beyonce in here. Ah, yes. Da, 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 da. Okay, Beyonce wore a glittering Oliver Roosting, Rousting. Oliver, mm, Oliver Rousting. We're just gonna go with that. Oliver Rousting gown with intricate details that form the shape of a skeleton. It was like again, just bling 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 everywhere, but it was giving like fishbone a bit. She paired the look with a matching crown, detailed gloves, and a dramatic feathered coat with a train that flowed down the carpet. It was just like drama everywhere. And the train was kind of giving like ombre, so it kind of like gave deep, like it was visually appealing from the back. And then you got the dazzle of all the diamonds and things, crystals and things, whatever they were from the front. Let's see, a feathered coat and train that flowed down the carpet. For her, the look was about celebrating whatever God gave you. She told the Met Gala interviewer, Lala Anthony. Lala was also looking great on the carpet. Lala is always looking fabulous. She's like a media icon for the Black community. So let's see. Those were my Met Gala favorites. Oh, another favorite moment from the Met Gala was Blue Ivy. She was there for not the first time, the second time. Yeah, because she was there in like a different gown with her mom one time. But anyway, Blue Ivy was there, and this time she had on this beautiful white gown, and she had on some shades when she hit the carpet, and everybody was telling her to take off her shades, but she was not taking off her shades. It was just, a diva. a vibe, a moment. And also as an introvert, I can understand because there was cameras and flashes coming from everywhere. It could just feel overstimulating, and maybe these glasses give you a moment to just still feel like, everybody ain't all up in my business while so many people are desiring to get in my business. She did take the glasses off when she got like up the stairs, I guess, to like, a bit less drama, a little more intimacy on the inside. But I was here for it. I mean, I'm here for women being able to do whatever they want. So, Viva la Blue Ivy and her media sunglasses decision. I also love sunglasses, which I think she does as well. So, let's see there. And Beyonce was just happy that Blue was there. When she was talking to Lala, all of her answers circled back to like being able to have this experience with my baby, being able to see the Met Gala through the eyes of Blue. Oh, I'm so happy Blue is here. She's just like such a proud mama, and it's fun to see her happy and like basking in that. We see Beyonce be the diva all the time, but it's nice to see her be, just somebody mama in this moment and be having a moment with her baby. So that was the Met Gala. I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments. Find me on social media at the Jasmine T, just the letter, and let me know. Let's see what else is going on. Drewski is hosting the BET Awards. I'm actually excited about that. I'm not somebody that follows I haven't seen all of Drewski skits, and I've just tapped into the Drewski world. I would say more so last year and definitely this year. From the my favorite is the mega church pastor skit. As a preacher's kid, as somebody who grew up in the Bible Belt, to me it was just spot on. I could have named about five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 different people that I have preachers that I have sat in their churches personally and tapped him right on in there with Drewski. It was a time. But he'll be hosting the BET Awards. I cannot wait to see what he says in terms of like jokes, his outfits, the skits, the budget. He's gonna have the whole world looking at him. He does the most when he's already just putting content out on his own platform. Now that he'll have like a bigger stage, a bigger audience, I'm excited to see what he gets into there. And also, I feel like that will make me watch the BET Wars a bit more. Like, I'll be more enticed to watch it because a lot of times, these recent years, I don't even know who they're talking about. A lot of these people that are winning awards and things, I'm not aware of their music because I am getting older. I'm now on the older other side of 30. I'm 36. I'm still quite excited about it. I'm excited to be getting older. It's a blessing, a privilege, and I look fucking great. So, like, I don't know. I just don't be aware of new music as often. If it don't get mixed into my playlist somehow, I be tapped out to a lot of things. So I haven't been able to feel as immersed in the BET Awards for the past few years, but I am going to tap in for Drewski. Let's see. Michael is in theaters, the movie. It is on track to pass $500 million globally in its third weekend. What a time, what a moment. The most famous man on earth is a black man. The world's favorite artist, a black woman, Beyonce. Let's see. Jafar. He was also at the Met Gala, but people were talking about how he looked like he just got there on accident. Like the uh, a moment. Hold on, here. Jafar looked like he just got there on accident. Like they were like, "Oh my God, the movie is actually doing great. Come on over here, my friend." And he didn't have time to plan a good outfit, or at least I will say an outfit that was more on theme and maybe a bit more dramatic, seeing that he is currently in the limelight for being playing his uncle in this movie. Like people wanted him to come on and basically look like Michael, and he just looked like Jafar in a very nice suit. He didn't look bad at all. But the chatter that I've been seeing brewing up online is like he must have just got slid in at the last minute, which is perfectly fine because you went there. So at least he still got to have a moment. But the movie is supposed to be very nice. I still have not seen it. Not my parents, my mom did take my grandma to go see it though for her birthday, and she loved it. She said the theater was lit. Everybody was singing, people were dancing. It was a good old blackety black time. So I am looking forward to going to see that. I'm probably gonna go see it next weekend. I'm currently a bit sniffly, if you can't tell or hear me kind of sniffling through sometimes. But I'll likely go see it next weekend. It's still kind of cold here in Ohio. It's still very cold here, actually. We've been having highs like in the 50s. And so it's just been having me feeling stuffy and congested this week. I kind of just want to stay in and drink tea and be warm. Uh-oh. And talk to you guys in the meantime, in between time. So our last what's been brewing moment, a moment that really had the internet lit up over the past few weeks. Smush face Clay Thompson cheated on our beloved Megan Thee Stallion. This really took me out the game. Where was I when this happened? On April 25th. Oh, I remember where I was. I was in an Airbnb in Atlanta with my sister, and we were laying on the couch watching The $1 Million Secret on Netflix. And we were just, laying there, chillaxing, doing one of my favorite things, scrolling, sipping on a little wine. And I am over here on the Twitters, and I see a pop up of Meg's Instagram IG press release. And it read, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatments toward me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. I want to talk about the horrible. Let's see. Then she went on to write BITCHESS. I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. So that was the initial shot that hit the internet, so much so that I had to go and make sure that it was her real page. It was not an AI fake because people have been saying, a friend had actually told me that she believed Meg and Clay had broke up a while ago because they stopped posting each other on Instagram and they unfollowed each other on Instagram. And that was like very much earlier this year. And so I did go check and that was true. But this only came out on April 25th. And it just really rock'em sock'em bopped me. Not that Clay cheated. Even when she told me like, hey, they unfollowed each other, we sat there and speculated why that could be. Maybe Meg got bored. Maybe they had some type of disagreement. It just never in my mind really rolled past that he would cheat because honestly, nobody knew about him before now. I didn't. I only ever really know about men though because of their wives. Like in my world, I don't really watch sports, so you'll always be such and such's husband to me, leans in and looks at Simone Biles' husband. Um, so yeah, this wasn't the greatest news, and it took over our Airbnb conversation for the evening. Let's dig in a little more. The reactions online for men have been terrible. It's been like the Illuminati niggas, the Illuma niggas, and the Kevin Samuels. Is that the man that like popularized the term high value man? Is that him, Kevin Samuels, or is that a rapper? Is it both? Is it both? Anyway, whoever made High Value Man popular, those Cam Newton, Nick Cannon loving individuals have really been thriving off this moment and making it an opportunity to like once again try to humble Megan, try to humble women, and flip it and make it seem like ha ha ha, this is always gonna happen. This is what you deserve. Why would you ever think that you would get to keep a man like this? Why would you ever think you get to be in this situation? It's just terrible. Never mind the fact that you're just mad because a woman like that would never even come your way. You're not even tall enough to put your real height on your social media profile. Yet you got all the big Twitter fingers to talk all this shit. Like she would even look your way. It's ridiculous. Or even Clay, you doing all this chatter, chatter, chatter for a light skinned man who don't even know your name. He's never going to invite you to a game. You ain't gonna be sitting courtside while you're out here clapping for him. It's weird. But it just keeps circling around on my theory that a lot of men really just like men. They don't like women. They like to impress each other. They like to look good in front of each other. They don't really like women. So many things keep. Maybe I'll do another episode on that on my little foil hat conspiracy theory here. But yes, that was really disappointing to see so many men just pop out and take it like their opportunity to say, "Oh, we knew this was going to happen." Shout out to Clay. It's just very weird. Y'all are very lame for that. And let's see what else. Well, on that note, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I was also very shocked to see this happen simply because Clay's not a conventionally attractive man. Everybody's been calling him the PBS logo and comparing him to so many other funny things on the TikTok comments. It's hilarious. So again, very shocked that she was ever even with him in the first place. But everybody likes different people, Me and all my friends, all the folks, everybody like different kind of people, different kind of men. It's a lid out there for every pot. Um, but on the note of dating, men, how these situations be ending up like that. So many of the comments were also about how Megan did so much for him over there cooking in his house and cooking Thanksgiving dinner for his family, buying a house together, him naming the boat after her. All of these things that signify, or one would think, signifies so much investment, like time, commitment. Not the case. That's going to lead us over into our piping hot moments for this solo dolo episode. On the topic of dating, my love life has been a mess since I got here in Ohio. So I'm going to take you on a 2025 dating recap for our piping hot moment segment. And now let's take a quick commercial break. If you like what you're listening to, remember to follow The Jasmine T, all one word, on YouTube to see my expressions, reactions, and show graphics in action. Then leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. We love to hear from you and want to make sure you're getting relatable content. Now, back to the show. Okay, now we are diving into our piping hot moments. These are going to be 3 standout men that I dated last year in 2025. And we're going to go through the tale of how we met and ended. Man number one, this guy came around in the spring of 2025, and he was a bit older than me. I was 34, 5. Have I turned 35? Had my birthday came yet? No, my birthday hadn't came yet. So I was 34 at the time, and he was like 40 something, like 41 or 42, and he was African. I'm pretty sure he was Ghanaian, and that's like nugget number one from dating in Ohio. A lot of the men here, black men, are Ghanaian. They're from Ghana. What is that? Ghanaian? Gahan. I'm gonna say Gahan. So that was number one, and he also lived in Cincinnati. That was another thing. Being on the apps here, there aren't many. At least when I go in and set my settings to bliggity black black, it's very limited options here in Columbus, Ohio. Like the metro area, even one of my friends was like, "Oh, set your settings to this other area." I did that. Maybe like 2 more black people popped up. So it's not many black men period in Columbus. You can swipe through them very quickly. So you'll often see yourself ending up seeing people from Cincinnati, Michigan, Virginia, Detroit, Cleveland, like a hodgepodge of all these people from other places. So he was from Cincinnati. He was an engineer. I'm going to get into how he made sure I knew that. And we matched on Hinge. Okay, so we missed. Oh, another thing. I'm going to take you through their tales based on their astrological signs because I'm an astro Bobby girly. I am an earth sign. I'm a Taurus. And this was my first time dating a Taurus as well. Typically, I avoid them because other girlies have told me they're terrible. But I was like, why not? Let's do it for the plot. You know, he was really cute. He was very attractive, which we tend to be. And he was one thing that is a good way to get me is grammar. I don't want to feel like I'm reading hieroglyphics when I'm reading your message. Don't make me struggle like it's already hard enough as a black woman. I'm not going to go through this message trying to figure out what you're trying to say to me. So he had good grammar. He was funny. He had a pretty decent response time. And we actually chatted on the app for like almost about a week and a half or so before he even like asked me out. So the first time he asked me out, he asked if we could go to dinner somewhere here in Columbus. I was talking about I like brunch. And he was saying like, oh, we can grab dinner or brunch if you're free one day, depending on when you're free. We ended up grabbing brunch one Saturday, and that was really nice. We went to this. It wasn't a rooftop place. It was like an outdoor space. They had a patio. I love patio. And we got brunch there, and then kind of like walked around the neighborhood a bit and went into a few other like boutique kind of like store places. And we also got some ice cream. And then he kind of went back on his way. It was really nice. He smelled good. I like that. He let me know that he had also been married before, that he had not recently, he had been divorced for about 4 years, he said. And that's okay. I've been divorced since 2018. 19, 18, 2018. So he'd been divorced for about 4 years. That didn't bother me. He didn't have any kids. That was the main thing. But date number one went perfectly fine. Brunch, a little stroll around the neighborhood, dessert, a little ice cream, a little chat. Something I like to do. I get to be cute. I get to know you, see that you can talk and you making sense. You're a little funny. Great. Next date, we went to the Cincinnati Food Festival. A Taste of Cincinnati, I believe it was in like downtown Cincinnati. You can walk around like all these different vendors. It was like block after block after block of vendors. And we went there. So I went to Cincinnati. And when I got there, when I got to his house, first off, I was in my friend's group chat telling them, I was like, oh, he looks like a real grown man. Like he owns a home. He has a nice, cute little townhome. Not little. He had a nice, cute townhome. Get to the townhome, and he's like, very neat and tidy. I feel like Q Meg the Stallion lyric here, running through your house like a Tomb Raider. Okay, I'm like taking pictures, I'm taking videos and things because it is very neat in here. It is very orderly. He got furniture that is not just black or red and plastic. Okay, he has pictures on the wall. He has vegetables in his refrigerator, like green, fresh, leafy vegetables, orange vegetables, like colors and varieties. Okay, he has plates on the table, like multiple towels in his bathroom. It was really, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, like, wow, the caliber of people you have dealt with in the past is so trash that I knew this type of person existed. First of all, I knew it existed. I knew it existed, but to be sitting here, experiencing it live in the flesh, like, oh, I feel like I found a unicorn simply because your house actually feels like a home. Like it was very cute. When I came in, he was like laying it down, very Taurian behavior. I see how y'all ladies be falling for him. He was like laying it down. I came in, um, house was sparkling clean. He had music playing, like oldie, like not Goldie oldie. I mean, I guess he was 40, so he is an 80s baby. Haha. But he was playing like when it was time to clean up on Saturdays, like those type of tunes. So we're like in the kitchen. He's making us lunch. First of all, he can also cook. I love food. I love food. He made steak. He grilled steak. He made like a stir fry, like vegetable stir fry, like peppers and some other stuff. And then he also like sauteed some cabbage. It was delicious. It was delicious. We're like on the back patio, sipping the coffee. He made us drinks. We're like sipping cocktails on the back patio while he's grilling steaks, and we're like chilling, kissing, making out. It's okay. It's fun. I'm grown. Kissing, making out on the patio. We go back in. We're like dancing in the kitchen as he's setting the table. Everything is going really great and fine. This man got furniture, all these lovely things. Cool. I'm like, oh, I see why people like a Taurus. Like this could be okay. My only concern was ever with a Taurus man is what's going to happen when we disagree. What's going to happen when I want to go left and you want to go right? Somebody's going to need to yield. It's not going to be me. That was my main concern. And what's going to happen when we get angry? I know I can be pretty spicy if buzz with what happens if you get spicy as well. But so far with this Taurus man, it's just all initial glitz and glam and attractiveness. So we're like dancing around the kitchen, then we stop and we eat lunch and we're like talking and he like cleans up all the dishes and things and cleans up the kitchen. It's like speak and span in there. I'm sitting there like, man, I am not adulty enough at this level. Like I have somebody come in here and clean it once a week for me. Like it's not somebody got to come in here and clean the kitchen and all of these things once a month, twice a month, or something like that for my house to look at the level that he likes to maintain. It's just lucking in with me. Anyways, but all of that was fine. We finished eating lunch and he goes upstairs to change because now we're about to go to the food festival. And when I got there, he had on like these really nice slacks, like nice material, this like V-neck t-shirt that was also pretty like I don't know, it just felt like nice, like some quality clothes, some like loafer, slippery type things. Anyway, a very like, casual, cool outfit. He goes upstairs, changes clothes, and comes back down. And he now has on a very tight soccer jersey, very tight soccer jersey, and some also tight Bermuda short jorts, like black Bermuda jorts. And I'm just like, the swag is gone. What happened? Like, why did you did you went upstairs and put your shit on and this what you came down in? So that was a little okay. I feel like he was still cute, but like the jorts were very jorty. You just had on loose slacks. You just had on loose. Like you didn't strike me for as the jorts type, but okay. We get to go to the food festival. Had a lovely time. it was just sea of like different foods, vendors, and different activities and things to do. So we just walked around for hours just trying stuff. I didn't pay for a thing. That was not something I've never had that issue. I can say since I've been dating here in Ohio, men don't mind paying for things, but we'll get to how that doesn't matter later. Um, when we speaking of paying for things, we got to one of the tents. It was like some, I can't remember what brand car, but it was some car brand. And you know how they'll have like a car out there where you can go see all the different features and test it out and then enter a contest so you can win the car. But enter the car so you can enter the contest so you can win the car. They really just want your information so they can hit you up for marketing and sales later, but whatever. So we're like entering our information because why not? And on the thing, you had to circle your salary range. And so I fill mine out, drop it in a little box, and move on. I'm like checking out the car. He specifically calls me over there to like help him fill out this piece of paper. Now, to me, you already told me you're an engineer. You're 40 something years old. This piece of paper is right up your alley. Like you were born before computers were made. You should be used to pen and ink. But okay, let me come over here and help you figure out this piece of paper. What's going on? So he's filling out the information, and then he gets to the salary range part, and he's like, "Oh, what do they mean about that?" I'm like, "How much money do you make?" And he makes sure I'm there just to see him circle like 150 to 250K, and I'm in take the paper. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right." Circles that, drops it in. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty pompous." Like, don't understand. You gotta have. I'm not. I was about to say I'm not materialistic, but I don't want to lie. I'm materialistic. You got to have materials to come over here, but money ain't everything. Money ain't everything. You can have money and still be a jerk. You can have money and still be broke. So you got to have money. That's just like the entrance to my life because if you don't have no money to take care of yourself, there's no way you can like involve me. You're gonna be bitter. You're gonna be angry. If you don't have money to go do fun things and dilly dally and have fun and create joy in your own life, you're not going to be able to create joy in mine. You're going to be resentful and angry. I ain't got time for that. So when I say you got to have money, I mean to initially at least be able to take care of yourself. You got to have some type of foundation before you can add on dating. Okay, dating is an add on. If you ain't got it to begin with, go away. Go away. Focus on yourself. All right. But so he made sure I saw him circle that. And then we carried on throughout the festival. It was a good old time. We walked over to Kentucky and got dinner at some restaurant over there because Kentucky is like right across the river from, Cincinnati or whatever. You can like stand in Kentucky and look in Ohio and stand in Ohio and look in Kentucky. So we did that. We got dinner, came back, and I brought it on back to the house. Well, no, before then. We get back to his house and I'm like heading upstairs because I have to like use the restroom and things, get something to drink. And when I came in the house and took off my shoes, I didn't put them in what I quickly learned was the right place. And so I took my shoes off, like kicked them off by the steps, was heading up the steps to go to the restroom. And he was like, "Oh, hey, wait." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I turned around, was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like picking my shoes. He's like, "Oh, your shoes go right here." And he like put them down in one spot. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I mean, it was shoes there. My shoes weren't far away from there. They just weren't in this one particular spot. But I'm like, "Okay, cool. It's your house. I'm gonna go anyway." Go up the steps, and then I go use the restroom. I'm coming out. He's like standing in the kitchen, so I'm talking to him a little bit. Mind you, we've had a lovely day. And he takes the opportunity to let me know about how he had moved my car for me. Like when I got there before we left in his car. So he moved my car out of the way so he could get his car out of the garage, et cetera, et cetera. When he was moving my car, again, my life is not as orderly as he is. So when he was moving my car, I'm sure he was like, this girl's car looks like her closet full of water bottles, shoes, random jackets and things, just basically what I throw off and put back on as I'm transitioning through responsibilities in my days. So he comes back in, I come out of the bathroom, he's sitting in the kitchen, I come over, we're chatting, and he starts talking about how he likes to keep things clean and how he likes to keep things neat and how everything has a place and how, it's really okay that I put my shoes in the wrong spot. I didn't know any better, but everything has a place and everything has a system. And he looked at me and he was like, I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I get that." I said, everything doesn't always have a system for me. Everything doesn't always have a place. Sometimes I just get to it when I get to it. He looked me dead in my eye. He was like, "I like order." And it just took me, he was like, he said, "I like order." And I just said, "Oh, okay." Like, Everything has a place. Everything has a home. It's like, oh, okay, wow, that's so nice. To me, it's like you like control the order you create is the order that you want to roll, and you ain't got no space and place for nobody else, Mr. Taurus, man. That was the stubbornness that I know is inside of us. Like he was letting me know, and it was really given just that his place was already so neat, already so speaking span. It wasn't room in there for nobody else. It wasn't room in there for you to come add your touches, your thoughts, your elements. You just needed to pop in and be pretty and presentable when he needed you to be available. And that was honestly okay for me if maybe he wasn't so far away um for that particular moment and season in life. Like I had just landed here. I ain't really trying to get no super duper deep long love relationship. Like let me scope the scene a bit. But that order thing really pissed me off. It bothered me because it was just red flagging control a little early on and like a bit of stubbornness. I just don't care to see him. And it was also weird to me that he wanted to make sure I saw his salary range like that. That was odd. Um, so that was my Taurus man. Let me see if I have anything else in my notes about him. Yeah, he was just simply looking for somebody to fit into his life. But I was the pluses. Let me take away the things I did enjoy about him. He was fun. He liked to like go out of the house and do things. He did dress well. Before he put on that medium outfit, the like slacks and things he had on, the outfits he had on his Hinge profile, much better than what he decided to wear to that festival. Um, he was calm and confident. Like he knew who he was. He wasn't really like moved or swayed, by like different uh I don't know. He was just like people or things. He wasn't like easily influenced, I guess. He was very set in like who he was in a good way. Like what type of music I like, what type of things I like to do. This is the type of dances I want to learn. He was very interested. He was a very great cook. He was interested in becoming a chef and owning his own restaurant. He just seemed like assured and like ambitious and things. I like that as well. What else? He was also a great kisser. Great kisser. He also danced really well. I like that. I like somebody that's fun that likes to dance. And that was it. That was it. The red flags was the order. Uh, and I don't think he really wanted to share his life with anybody. I think he just wanted a pretty young thing, like a pretty piece of arm candy, somebody to entertain every now and then. So he probably wouldn't have had much depth. He probably wouldn't have went nowhere long for it. Man number one. Man number two, he was a Cancer. He was the second Cancer man I've ever dated. No, was he the third? July. He was probably the third if I take it way back. Okay, so let's say third Cancer man I've ever dated. He was bald, like most of them are. The my first Cancer man is I'm pretty sure he's currently balding. The second one was bald. He was 30. He was like 2 years older than me. And this man he was 38. So he was 4 years older than me. Five, 35, I think, 3 years older than me. But he was also bald. He was from Georgia. I met this one as well on Hinge. He was from Georgia. I was excited about that. I'm like, ooh, a Southerner. Maybe we'll have a better experience. He was short. That's one thing that stands out about him. When you put your picture in the group chat and they be like, oh, girl, he little. Height don't really matter to me. Height has never really mattered. When I look back at my track record of like men that I've dated, they've predominantly been under 6 feet. They've been like 6 feet or under. I dated one big and tall man. He was like, at least somewhere between like 6'3" and 6'4". But the majority of them have been like 6 feet or under. This dude, I'm 5'3". Okay, really, for me, as long as you're taller than me, I'm fine with it. It's not hard to be taller than me in my head. However, the last Cancer man I dated in Birmingham, he was my best boo thing. He was the main sneaky link, like the most consistent one I could call, never doing too much, just enough, even to this day, even as he slides into my DMs from time to time, just enough. Um, but even him, he put on his Hinge profile that he was 5'9", right? So we get on our first date, we get to the bar, he pulls up and walks up to me. That man is eye level to me. I mean, eye level. I'm 5'3". He's not 5'3.5". He's not 5'3.5", okay? And so I was like, you are not 5'9". He goes, everybody lies. Everybody lies. Everybody lies anyway. Everybody lies. No, they don't. No, they don't. Do they? Am I just delusional? I don't feel like y'all have to lie, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, but I can say it does matter to all my other friends. Like they be looking like I ain't trying to date no man under 6 feet. I just feel like it's not fair. They can't help how tall they are. Like you biologically, you cannot help how tall you are and how tall you get to be. So I don't know, but this man, I'm 5'3". Maybe he was 5'4". Maybe he was 5'4". As I talk, maybe I need to collect some data points about the short men. Anyway, okay. 5'4" from Georgia. He's a Cancer. He was here for a work trip, for a work assignment. That's also another category of men I'm learning that are here in the Midwest, here in Ohio. Men that get assigned here to build some type of plant, start some type of, get some type of company off the ground on behalf of another company. Verizon, different architecture firms, construction firms. He was a he was a manager at a construction site, and he just had a lot of time on his hands. Like he was not one of the people who were actually doing the work. He was like walking around making sure that things were being done accordingly from time to time. So he just had a lot of time on his hands, and he thought that that time should be spent on my phone. For some reason he would call me so much. He would call me because he's, oh, elder millennial. He don't really want to text. I exist in the land of texting. Don't FaceTime me, and please ask if you can call first. Like if you call me, I'm assuming it's something really urgent. Like what? But he wanted to be on the phone with me all the time. He was confused when I told him I have things to do and I can't just sit on there. He didn't want nothing. You didn't even want nothing. You're living in a hotel in Nowhere Land, Ohio, because it's close to your job site, and you think that I'm just supposed to entertain you and be waiting around whenever you're free to go do whatever you want, go to hell. So anyway, he got frustrated because I didn't want to sit on the phone with him and talk all day. We literally have nothing to talk about. I don't want to just be on FaceTime with you while you walk around this construction site. I don't give a damn. I don't like to be outside, even virtually. So, well, I went outside when I didn't plan the experience. Like what are we doing out here? Why are we out here for? Anyway, this is not impressive to me. I don't want to talk to me when you get off or something. So that was a pain point. What also annoyed me about him? Uh, he was a good time. He when he wasn't doing the most, he was like he reminded me of like a Tasmanian devil. He could be fine. He could be perfectly fine sometimes, like we're out, we're playing pool, we're having a good time, perfectly fine, chilling. And then it's like out of nowhere, he would just have these really immature spurts or these really immature moments where he would just kind of do wild shit to get attention. Like I don't really like talking to. We had a moment. We went to a restaurant for brunch, and the food was gross. It just tastes like it had no seasoning. It was terrible. And so, of course, he like asked, lets the waiter know we didn't really enjoy our meals, and he wasn't rude about it at all. He wasn't rude about it, which really surprised me. I was sitting over there impressed because I was ready to cut up because I don't play that. He let him know. The manager apologized. He took some things off our bill, gave us some mimosas. Lovely time. As we're leaving, though, he looks at me and goes, "Oh yeah, I like you. You really know how to like let a man feel like a man. Take charge in the moment." And I said, "Well, you didn't do nothing but let him know. The food was nasty. Like that wasn't really a take charge moment. But if you want to see it like that, okay." I'm also not the type of woman that's gonna sit here though and tell the waiter that you didn't want ketchup on your sandwich or you didn't want pickles on your burger or something like that. You got your own mouth. You're gonna have to use it. I'm gonna sit here and see how you talk to people. Can you do so in a, efficiently tactful way? Are you being kind and respectful, even if we're having a negative experience because they don't deserve you being a jerk for no reason? So he passed that level, but he also seemed to want to think that he needed a pat on the back or that I was some good submissive woman, because I let him be the man and do that. Again, should have been red flag number one. Um, but it was summertime, why not for the plot? Summer. Anyway, so that was that experience. Then he wanted to sit on the phone and talk all the time. What really took I was going to say what really took us down. So this is all going on over the course of like mm, I met him. He was we were entangled, I would say, a good bit of the summer. I think I really got rid of him in like August. So this had to be like June through July. Um, but so we're like dating in between then. Thankfully, the reason we lasted so long, and I'm an air quote long, is because he stayed like at least 45 minutes away. Wherever his hotel slash work site was about 45 minutes away. So we couldn't see each other that frequently. We weren't seeing each other every day. We were seeing each other like every other, weekend or so. But he wanted it to be every weekend. He wanted my whole weekend every weekend. Absolutely not. I want to be out with my girls. I want to be by myself. I just don't want any plans sometimes. So that was he was smothering, very smothering. Cancers can be very affectionate. I appreciate them as lovers. They're also pretty empathetic. They're great listeners. Well, I don't know. I'm really talking about my previous cancers. This current one, I don't know. His birthday was August, also in August. The other two's birthday was in July. Does that matter? Maybe I need to do a little more research. This August, well, it took. Hold on, let me see. Give me a moment to look up the Cancer birth dates. Cancer zodiac dates. Oh, June and July. Was he not a Cancer? No, his birthday was July something because he asked me to go. Hmm. He was a July Cancer. Oh well, he was just terrible regardless. He was different than the other two. So the smothering, right? The smothering. So the first man, Mr. Taurus, wanted order. He felt controlling. This man was suffocating me. He wanted me made that little like, oh, you know how to let a man be a man coming at brunch. Another time we were getting lunch at a restaurant. This was like quite early on in our dating experience. We're maybe like 2 or 3 weeks in. Like, and again, this is us seeing each other one day or so on a weekend. So maybe like our third time even being in each other's presence. We're getting lunch at a restaurant and we're talking about something. Talking about something. Oh, I know what we're talking about. We're talking about money again because he lets me know that he's making $90,000 now at this new job site, and that's just his base salary, and he gets bonuses, and he gets this. Again, this is an unprompted announcement. I don't know what makes them start to say these things to me. I'm wondering, is it a moment of insecurity? What triggers it is what I'm trying to figure out because it keeps popping up in all of my experiences. But he's letting me know at the counter of this restaurant as we're sitting here having lunch at the bar, that he's making $90,000 now at this new job site, and that he gets bonuses and things. So he's really raking the money in, and he really prefers if his woman manages his finances. He just likes to go out and spend and spend and spend. He just want to trick and ball out and have fun. And he likes to make sure that his woman is able to take care of the household and pay all the bills and things like that. He just want to go out and make sure that he going to work so his money gonna be in the account every Friday, and you take care of all the bills and stuff. You hold down the house, and I'm gonna just go out and make sure we have a good time. First of all, that sounds ridiculous to me, but also, why are you telling me? Again, this is only our third time talking to each other. And so I'm sitting here making very weird faces, and we're talking about it. The waitress comes up, and I say, I would like some more ranch. Whatever I order, I like to dip it in ranch. I like sausage, sue me. So she doesn't hear me though. Like I say it kind of like right as she's walking away. So he takes a moment to turn around and say, oh, excuse me, miss. My girlfriend was wondering if she could have some extra ranch. She said, oh, no problem, cool. Walks off to go get it. I turn around, I look at him, and I say, girlfriend. He's looking back at me, quite impressed, as if I should be impressed. Just like he was expecting me to be impressed when he called me on the phone every day. It's like, why don't you want to talk to me? It is I calling you. Nigga, I got shit to do. Who are you? So now he's sitting here telling me or calling me girlfriend. I said, Cancer, what's my last name? He did not know. You just told waitress friend that I'm your girlfriend. You don't know my last name. You're trying to sell me on managing your bank account so that you can just come to Columbus and dilly dally every weekend. And you don't know my last name. I should have robbed him. As I sit here and tell the Tea Party about it, I should have robbed him. I should have got his bank account information and put all my bills on auto draft. My stuff. My stuff. Forget his, me. At least one time. Why not? Mhm. Anyway, so that was that lunchtime encounter. Um, that had to be June, July, August. Oh, I asked him. Yeah, okay. I remember what happened after that. I so that was a situation where I let him know I was not his girlfriend. I was not interested in being his girlfriend. Again, I did not want to be anybody's girlfriend. I just got here. Let me scope the scene. Let's just date. If I'm dating you and you turn out to be really awesome and it grows into something else, cool. But right now, just trying to see what's out here. He agreed to that. We continued to date a bit more. But things really blew up when he wanted to have more of my time and attention. He just wanted to come to Columbus every single weekend. And I would tell him no, like, I don't want to see you at all this weekend. I have other things to do or I don't want to be bothered. He didn't like that. And then he got frustrated and was asking. And I was like, I don't understand. Like I told you, I just want to casually date. Men don't seem to like to be treated casually. Like they're also not running towards. Well, I can't say this one was trying to run towards a label, but I think he was running towards a label for the wrong reasons. Um, but he was not impressed or liking the fact that I just wanted to take things casually. And he asked, like, what do you want from me? And I let him know. I said, I would just like to date. What do you want from me? He told me that that's fine, that I just want to casually date. He just wanted to be the dick that I call whenever I got horny. That was his main concern. He's trying to come to Columbus every weekend to make sure that I'm not down here with no other man because he doesn't want any man at all that's not him to have the opportunity to potentially sleep with me. He doesn't want that to happen. If I ever feel like I'm in the mood, I need to only call him and he will make sure that he's there. And he can make sure that he's there if I let him come around me and come see me anytime that he's available. You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. He said it with a straight face on my FaceTime, just, as if he was, just telling me his favorite cereal or something. So that was the end of that. That took things down quickly because if you only want to come around me just to make sure, oh, so many other things I forgot, so many other details I forgot. Okay, if you only want to come around me to make sure I'm not around other men, that's a jealousy trait. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's giving a level of insecurity on the inside that I cannot manage out here in the real world. But again, that jealousy trait flared up because one thing he would also do a lot is ask for pictures. So when I was talking to him when we were dating, he would ask for pictures a lot, and he would get to the point where I would just tell him no. Like if I was saying, because I do a lot of things, I like to go see the world. I'm in a new space. I like to explore. So if I would tell him I'm at the park doing this, or I'm having lunch with my friend doing this, or I'm doing X Y Z, he'd be like, "Oh, cool. Send me a picture. Send me a picture." And I started to piece together, you're not asking for pictures because you want to see me or things. You're asking for pictures to try to figure out where I'm at, who I'm with, and what I'm doing. I showed him a picture of me in Las Vegas for my birthday once because his birthday was coming up in July and he was taking a trip to Vegas. And he asked me if I would like to go to Vegas with him for his birthday. I said no because he had already been getting on my nerves, being smothering before this time. So why on earth would I go spend consecutive days with you? Also, I don't even know you that well. We're only seeing each other barely every other weekend. We've only seen each other maybe 5 or 6 times ever in life at this point. No, I do not want to go on a vacation with you in Vegas. But I let him know I had been to Vegas for my birthday like a year or two beforehand. Let me show you some things I did. So I was showing him pictures of me in Vegas, like doing different things. And he goes, "Oh, that's why we got to take a trip together because I need to make sure that I get some pictures of me and you together. I need to make sure that I get some pictures of you. That way, I know I'm the nigga that took these photos. I know I'm the nigga that made this moment happen. I don't know who was around paying for this. I don't know who was around doing that. Me and my bitches, actually, if you want to know, me and my girls, I went there with my friends. But you think that it's a nigga behind the camera? Even if it was, what would that have to do with you? You're letting me know that you just want to be the nigga behind the camera. You just want to be the dick. I'm not just looking for a trick, sir. They're not appealing. The dick y'all provide isn't consistent. It's not good enough. And the money you provide, I'd rather give it to myself because y'all be acting crazy and controlling over $1 and it's never that deep. I'd rather have no dollars than have a man control me of one. I'd rather have no dollars at all. I'd rather staple my vagina up and zip it away for the rest of my life than have a man think he can control me for any reason. Um, so yeah, That was the downfall of me and the Cancer. I ended up having to block him. He just would not go away. Like I told him that I don't just want your penis. I don't want to manage your bank account. This is not gonna work for me. You want too much or you want something different than what I can provide. Let's just go ahead and end it. He ain't like that at all. He kept calling me. When I blocked his number, he started calling me from unknown numbers all the time. He called me from other random number. He just called me. I let that man go. And somewhere early August, that man he was still calling me from unknown numbers every now and then in like November. It was a lot. But cancers are very emotional. Them water signs. It'd be hard for them to like let go. Even my Birmingham cancer still around, even though we're in different states now. He moved. He left Birmingham, and I left Birmingham, and he still be in the DMs letting me know, hey, whatever, whenever. If I could, I would. So they be entangled in the things. My last one, the worst one, the one that really took me through there, a Gemini. I never should have dated a Gemini in the first place. This is all the Gemini's fault, but I never should have dated a Gemini in the first place because they don't even match up with me compatibly. Air signs and earth signs, we don't really be meshing that well. Taurus and Geminis, we're quite opposite. I'm slow, steady, stable, consistent. Geminis are like airy, flighty, change, change, change. I got a random idea, spontaneity, spontaneity, but once again, why not? Let's try something different. So this is the tale of the Gemini, also known as the Toyota. We'll get to that by the end. First, I want to start off by saying beware of any light skinned biracials from Dayton, Ohio. Beware of any light skinned biracials from Dayton, Ohio. This is my second experience with one. Third, actually, this is my one I met that was a bank teller that that threw heavy shade at me actually for going to a PWI, and I simply had to let him know I was not looking for the same sense of black connection that you were. You went to a HBCU to find yourself and to find your blackness. I didn't need to do that. I could have went anywhere I wanted to. Don't try to shade me in this bank, sir. The second biracial from Dayton has a very huge ego. I saw him on a dating app once. Ever since then, I saw him on every single dating app I've ever been on since I've been here, which is just Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble. Bumble is really, I can take that one away because ain't never nobody on there. But I kept seeing him on every single app every time I open the app. And then it would say like nearby. Which one would say that? Probably Tinder because he'd be trying to tell you everything to keep you on there. It would say like nearby. So one day I finally just swiped on the shit. I'm just like, oh my God, she's just around so much. He keeps popping up. Let's just see. Swiped on it. Ever since I did that, anytime I see that thing in public, anytime I see that man in public, he acts like he is Beyonce. And I am like Carrie Hilson. He acts like oh no, he acts like he's Mariah. Who does Mariah Carey not like? Who is she like? Who? He acts like I am just his biggest fan, like some just adoring little peasant chasing up behind him. And he's just, cannot, like, oh my God, there she is again. Here she is. She must be following me, sir. It's a fucking dating app. We're only one of probably 10 black people in this metro area. Please calm the fuck down. Okay? It's not that deep. Again, you're barely 5'3" and a half. So that was the second light skinned biracial from dating. This third one I met on Tinder. That should have been red flag number one. Tinder's terrible. But anyway, we met in the beginning of December, right when it was like starting to snow here in Ohio. He was around for all of the big snows here in Ohio. So, things didn't work out well, but it was convenient during that time. We matched on Tinder once again, great what do you call it, great grammar, chemistry, conversation right off the bat. Like we talked in the app for a couple of days, for like 4 or 5 days before we started texting. And again, he was a pretty consistent communicator. He didn't have me trying to read hieroglyphics. He was funny. He was talking and telling me about himself. I do think a red flag was his profile gave fuck boy from the jump. He had a few photos, no information on there. He didn't have a bio. He only had like his location was from Dayton. Um, mm, I can't remember if he did have on there that he was Gemini. He just didn't really have much information, and his photos weren't the best either. Like one of the photos, he was holding his phone, and it was like covering most of his face. Another photo was was it black and white? Yeah, but I mean, he still looked pretty cute, And I kept seeing him again. Like I saw him so many times every time I opened the app. And I would always swipe left on him because I feel like if you ain't got the time and effort to type something in here and attempt to have a bio, attempt to put some information, attempt to tell me about yourself, it's very telling of what our experience is going to be like if we match. If you can't even try to put no effort in here, you're not going to try to put in any effort in the conversation. I'm just going to let that be that. But I just kept seeing him, just like that other biracial. I kept seeing him. So I finally swiped right, and it just was went downhill from there. I kept seeing him. Finally swiped right. One day he sent me a message. It was like, is it Facebook dating? I've also been on Facebook dating. Don't do that. That's like the I don't even want to say it's like the Dollar Tree, the Walmart of dating apps. Don't do that. But on Facebook dating, you can send somebody a message even if you haven't matched with them. So some type of way on Tinder, I don't know if he had a paid feature or something. He sent me some type of message that was just like, "Hey Jasmine, how you doing?" And I was like, "Okay, all right, let's give it a try." Match, great conversation. We take it from the app to the text message, from the text messages, and then like later that week we have our first date, and it is on a fucking snowstorm. Like it is the first really heavy snow day, kind of like snow weekend actually in Columbus. Another thing about him, he was an alpha, so it was like a pretty nice joking moment, like, "Oh, you could have drive through this ice cold snow here." And so we can go out on this date. Usually, if it was a first date, I would drive and meet you, but I'm not driving in the snow. And I felt like he wasn't a killer, so okay, I let him come pick me up. We had a great time. We drove very slowly um, across town and went to what's that place called? Firebird. No, not Firebirds. Did we go to Firebirds? Was it Firebirds? Maybe it was Firebirds. Yeah, I think it was Firebirds. They once they got the bread. I think it was Firebirds. But we went to dinner at Firebirds. We were supposed to go to this other place and like play games after that, but it was snowing a lot, so we just sat in the car and made out. He was also a great kisser. I can't give him that. Made out for a while, turned on some music, headed back, made the slow drive back to my place, and it was a great date. Things seemed really lovely from there. That was like the beginning of December. The whole month of December, we really had a great time. He did everything none of the other guys I've dated have done consistently. He planned every single date. He paid for every single date. He asked me what I was doing on this day at this time because he'd like to take me to do this thing. Whoa. He's like texting every day, calling, you're FaceTiming at work, doing all these things that, like, would make somebody think I actually like you. Let's run through the dates. We went to Firebirds and we attempted to play games. What else did we do? We went to the comedy club. We like went to the bar one night and grabbed drinks, and then we went to the comedy club after that. We went and got a couples massage one time. We had our best date. Oh, we went to a basketball game one day. That was our best date. No, Christmas. What did we do on Christmas? Oh, we went and got dinner on Christmas because he had to work. So we went and got dinner that Christmas evening. Our best date, and where it like that was the pinnacle. I should have let it go there because it all started to go down. Our best date was a day date. We went to a was it women's? I think it was a women's basketball. Yeah, it was a women's basketball game, a women's Ohio State basketball game in January, like right around the new year. Because another reason dating him was so great, he called me. We met like right at the very end of my like work year. So like in the month of December, I like to schedule my work responsibilities for the beginning of the month. By like the middle of the month, I want to be like wrapping up all my little admin tasks so I can tap out for the rest of the year, and I'll see y'all again probably somewhere around the second week of January. So I met him, and we really like by the time we had our first date, I was like just now wrapping up like the end of my work responsibilities. So I had the rest of the month of December, and like honestly, the first week and a half or so of January to just dilly dally around and do all these different things for him. We were really having a time. So January comes, and he lets me know he's about to start a new work shift. He was an officer, and he was about to start a new shift where he would be working. What was it? 6 p.m. in the evening. Was it 6 to 6? Yeah, yeah. I think it's like 6 to 6. Third shift, like 6 p.m. in the evening to 6 a.m. in the morning. And so, and he also was going to be working that shift Wednesday through Sunday. So his off days were going to be Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday through Sunday, he will be working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's a doozy. However, I work remotely. My schedule is really what I make it. Of course, I have like core set hours that I'm definitely going to be like at my laptop or doing something work related, but I can kind of like, shift and mold my schedule. I can work from my laptop. I can work from my office. I can work from your living room. I can do whatever. I can work from a coffee shop. So when he first told me about it, it was kind of like, okay, this sounds kind of tricky, but we can figure it out. Wasn't that big of a? It didn't sound like it would be that big of a deal. The consensus was we can figure it out. So we go on this lovely little day date. We go to a basketball game, a women's basketball game. We went to like we went to breakfast, then we went and got drinks, then we went to the basketball game, then we went to this arcade and played games, then we went somewhere else. I can't remember where we went after that. And then we went and got food. And then we came back to the house. But we went to like all these different places all over the city that day and just had a great Wayne Dang doodle of a time, laughing, having fun, getting to know each other. Seems like a great day, huh? Seems like a great day. Should have been the last time. Should have been like, oh man, what? You got this hard shift to work? It's been nice to know you, player. Let's just leave it right there. So after we have this lovely day date and the real world of 2026 comes on back in, I start going back to work. He starts going to work this new shift. Of course, things between us start to get strained. In the beginning, I can say he did put in a very great, I think he had, I'll get to that. He did put in at least I think he did. Look on the back end. I don't want to give him too much credit, but I can say he put in a decent amount of effort to like keep the dating situation going. So in my mind, if I'm getting off work at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, you're not seeing me. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go to sleep. No, he would like get off work, go home, sleep for a bit, and then we would like go do something Saturday afternoon, like go find something to eat or go do some type of activity or whatever Saturday afternoon or on Sunday or something like that. But I could tell after like a week or two that it was starting to wane and things were getting kind of heavy. And so I was like, okay, I do need time and attention. I feel like we need to have a chat and like figure something out because it got to the point where it all culminated over one weekend. So like one weekend, I believe it was a Sunday, he came over. We ended up going for brunch. And then thankfully, or not thankfully, oddly enough, my house was like my apartment was only about 5 to 7 minutes away from his job. Like he worked downtown. I stay very much so downtown adjacent. So a lot of times after we like would go out or something on Saturdays or a day he had to work, now that he had this new shift, he would come back to my place, take a little nap, get dressed, and go to work. Lovely little situation. One weekend, he comes over no, a Sunday, and we did something. I can't remember. I know we went and got something to eat because we were always going to eat. That was one thing I can say about him too. He had great it experiences and spending money wasn't a problem. Like that has not been an issue here with the Ohio men. They are eager to let me know that they have money and time for us to go do things. Okay. It's just letting me know that other things can still be present. So, where was I at about his story? So I feel like I'm rambling. Mm, where were we? It's January. He has, oh, things are starting to get strained. It's January. I'm like, oh, we should just talk about it. Oh, the weekend that led up to just, oh, we should just talk about it. Sunday, he comes over. We went out to go do something. I know it involved food. Can't remember what we did after that. And then we come back to the house and he like immediately goes to sleep. And at this point, I'm kind of bored because like what do I now? I got to tiptoe around here and be quiet, like I'm not sleepy. I don't want to nap. I want to be social. So I'm like, okay, this kind of, dating setup isn't really working anymore. Like I would like to be able to spend more than like an hour and a half or 2 hours with you or so a week. Um, and then so once he got up, he had to go to work. But I let him know, I was like, hey, like we didn't get to spend, like I know we went out and I think we just went and got something to eat. Like I know went out and got lunch or whatever, but we didn't really get to spend that much time together. Like, can we basically, how can we reconnect again? Can we see each other again sometime this week? And he was like, yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Yes, it was a Sunday. He's like, I'm off tomorrow because he was off on Mondays and Tuesdays. So the plan was we'll see each other again on like Monday or Tuesday since, I basically, we went and got something to eat and then I took a nap today. Cool. We made plans to see each other. Monday comes and he's like, he's pretty tired. He's going to take the day to rest and kind of like clean up whatever. He was like, let's see each other on Tuesday. Cool. We make plans to see each other on Tuesday. I'm going to go to happy hour with my friends and then I can come see you after that. Lovely. Tuesday comes, Tuesday morning, wakes up. I wake up to a text message. Hey, babe, can't wait to see you later. Blah, blah, blah. Hope you have a good day. Great. I have a lovely Tuesday. I'm at happy hour with my friends. I'm telling them I'm going to go see the Gemini after this. We're going to have a lovely time. Things are kind of sticky, though, because he's working this new shift, but we're just going to talk about it. Like, it should be okay. Gemini then texts me and it's like, oh, hey, actually, I'm not gonna be able to have company tonight. Like I didn't get a chance to clean up and all these other things. Like I ain't gonna be able to we ain't gonna be able to shake it. I'm like, okay, well dang, like that's pretty disappointing. I'm literally just sitting here like literally planning to hit you. He had even texted me while we were at happy hour to say, like, hey, how's it going? You having fun? And I'm like, yeah, we're actually wrapping up. I should be heading your way soon. And now all of a sudden you can't, the plan got to change. It can't happen anymore. Okay, lovely. So after that, I let him know like, hey, we really need to talk because this ain't feeling right no more. I can't remember what I said, but I know the gist of it was like we need to talk. Like this isn't, it's feeling funny. Things ain't flowing right. And that was like that night. Like that night when I got home, I let him know, like, hey, can you stop by work? That's what I asked. Can you stop by on your way to work tomorrow? Because again, I only work like 5 to 7 minutes away from your job. Can you stop by my house on your way before you go into work tomorrow or something? So we can chat because it's feeling disconnected here. It's feeling funny. I wake up to I don't know, I didn't wake up. Wednesday morning, I get a text message from him that says, we should just leave. Let's go ahead and just leave this where it's at. Um, what did he say? Let's go ahead. We should just leave. I like to just leave this where it is. Let's go ahead and leave this where it is. Um, what did he say? He didn't feel like we were on the same. What did he say? I can't even remember. I'm actually happy that I can't remember because it really stung in the moment. So like the fact that it feels vague right now is like growth. What did he say? But I know the gist of it was like he was like, no, he was like, I've given it a lot of thought, and I'm actually not gonna stop by today, Jasmine. I think we should just leave this where it is. I know that was the beginning of it. The reasoning he gave after it, I can't remember anymore. But I was so sure it really hurt me because at this point, this is like the week before Valentine's Day. At this point, this man has asked me, like, oh, babe, would you be comfortable traveling with me? I really want to go out of the country for my birthday in July. I mean, no, the last due was in July. I think his birthday is in like September. No, he's Gemini. When is his birthday? July? I don't know. He's a Gemini, whenever that season is. I really want to go out of the country for my birthday, or we could take a quick trip to Chicago once it gets a little warmer this spring. Oh, we can also go somewhere for Valentine's Day. I'm going to make plans for us, but let me see my work schedule. If we can't do work stuff, then I already made reservations for us at this restaurant, and this is what I'm going to be wearing. If you want to get an idea, if you should be wearing, you didn't did all of this stuff just like Clay out here and bought a house, named a boat, and all these other things with this woman. And then now all of a sudden, time situation pops up where I'm like, hey, let's actually have what people would think a relationship type moment and sit down and talk about something, have a serious conversation. Drop like a hot potato off and on to the next. So I respond and let him know, like, hey, very shocked by your decision. It actually hurts that you decided to do this via text message. We've been dating for like over a month now. I thought that I would deserve, what did I say? I think the situation deserved more than that. There's more than a random ass text message. At least is it just me? At least a phone call, a FaceTime. I think the best situation would have been in person. It's not like we mad at each other, or are you mad? I ain't ask all that, but I was basically like, ouch, this stings because you're doing this in a text message. Like it's just some lackadaisical, dropping of a situation that I thought had more value than this. But it's cool, heard and respected. Goodbye. Then I, of course, had my very Cancer rising in my feelings moment and talked to my mom and my friends about it. And one of my other Gemini friends came over later and she brought me some coffee and she was sitting on my couch and she was talking to me. And I was telling her how disappointed I was because he had done so many other of the other things that, like I said in the beginning, other men hadn't did consistently, like plan dates and have his own ideas and things like that. He too had his own house, just like the previous Cancer man. Well, he had his own apartment, but it was decorated pretty nicely, mostly with just black furniture. But he did have a bookshelf full of books and a keyboard and a really nice table in the middle. It was like a big slab of wood. That was really nice. But it was mostly black. His bedroom was all black. The sheets was black. It was still, that part was still giving young fuckboy energy. But nevertheless, I was telling her, I was like, oh my gosh, like I felt like he was just so close to like what I wanted. It's like he had all the surface level things, but he didn't have any like real depth to the situation. Like we weren't learning, I wasn't learning much about him as a person, or at least the things that I was learning weren't that, it just wasn't that deep. Um, he didn't really seem to be putting in much effort to do things besides having fun. Like, yes, we were going out and doing all these fun dates and having all these fun experiences over December and most of January there. But outside of just having a good time, it wasn't like we were really investing in each other emotionally, like truly getting to know one another and talking about like life building type of things. We were kind of just meeting up, looking good together, and having a good time. Um, so when it got to a place where I was expecting something to be like, okay, let's kind of like shift beyond that and have a real moment, there was nothing there to pull from, like that's not what he was offering. In fact, he was making references to how like hard it was to consistently keep being, it seems like putting up and doing what he was doing in the first place. So that situation ended and it was really disappointing because I feel like why do all that? Like why make all these instances and all these references to future moments that you have no real intention of being a part in? It's like you already knew you just wanted somebody for like cuddle buddy season, cuddle weather season, and then let them go right before Valentine's Day. And I mean, my God, at 36 years old, it's just a little, or I would think you're just too old to be doing shit like that. But okay, alas, that was my 2026 dating recap. Inspired by our girl Megan Thee Stallion to call these men out and let people know what they be doing out here in the streets and hold them accountable. That is the things that I have gone through, the lessons I've learned and experienced here in the Midwest city of Columbus, Ohio last year. I would love to hear if any of those things and topics resonate with you, because don't forget, you can leave a review for our lovely podcast on the streaming platform you're listening on now. Head on over to YouTube and like and subscribe to that page so you can catch all of our videos when they drop immediately. Oh, Toyota closing out. We'll close out with that. So I told you my other friend, who also happened to be a Gemini, had came over to like comfort me as I was sad about receiving that text message on that Wednesday morning. And I was telling her how I was so sad because he seemed to be so close to all the things I wanted. And she described the situation to like having a car. Like it sounds like, she was like, it sounds like he was just a Toyota. Like he looked nice. He was what did she say, stable, financially savvy. He had good mileage, like y'all got to do good things for a while, but he was just like a nice Toyota, like a basic average experience. Previously, you were dating men who would have equated to no car, like they didn't even have their own apartment. Some of them didn't have jobs. um some of them were living with their mom. Some of them had horrible addictions and things, so like they would have been the equivalent of not having any car. This guy, he was just like the beginning of all the things you say you would like in a dating experience. This is just like you just bought your first car. It's a Toyota. Is a Toyota a bad car? No. Is a Toyota the greatest car you'll ever have? No. Is this Toyota your dream car? No. No, not at all. You could want a Phantom. You could want a Benz. You could want a Lexus truck. Whatever your dream car is, just consider this your Toyota. The beginning of your car driving experience here in the dating world. And that helped me a lot. It was like It's not, that was the thing too. It's not like our situation ended because anything was necessarily like wrong or bad, like you cheated or anything like that. And I can say that too. I haven't had really a lot of situations end. I can say since I've been grown, since I've been in my 30s, I haven't had a lot of dating situations end with something necessarily negative like that. It's been more just like unaligned personalities, values, systems, beliefs, or whatever, desires, whatever. Um, so yeah, this situation didn't necessarily end because like, somebody cheated or we cussed each other out or something like that. It was just like, you don't really want what I want anyway. We're kind of heading in different directions. He also wanted to buy a house in the suburbs and settle down in a place that people consider a quite racist neighborhood. That wasn't on my interest list either. I'm quite confident in the fact that Ohio isn't my forever home. So that's been an issue dating here as well. Like men here always want to stay here. They don't want to go nowhere. Like, and I get that. It's a very red state. They thrive. The patriarchy is real. But I know I don't want to be here forever, ever. And he wasn't trying to leave. He was trying to buy a house and maybe go to law school one day. So kudos to you and goodbye for that. But I think that's it, friends. You have definitely gotten a nice, good gulp of all of my business today. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had fun. I definitely feel more comfortable now that we're chatting at the end of the conversation than I did at the beginning. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself as well. Let me hear about it, please. Help me reach more people. Help me spread this lovely message of messy black media, good black drama, fun and hot piping journalism to more ears across the globe. That's going to wrap up this week's episode. Make sure you're following us on social media and following us on your favorite streaming platform so you can stay in the tea party with all the great news. See you next week.